You're still, excuse me, sinuses is kicking me. You may still be trying to find ground or, understanding your strategy fully. I would highly recommend like going back and looking at your trade, and kind of evaluating it. It doesn't mean that your trading strategy is incorrect. You just may need to adjust your entry and exit a little bit. But yeah, you see that happen a lot of times. You guys see that happen with me sometimes. Um, but yeah, sometimes you're just off by a few cents here and there. But I always say it's better to be safe than sorry. So that's why I prefer to trade with a stop loss. Have a bottom, have something protecting my account compared to just being hopeful, waiting for a bottom to come in. And then, you know, no bottom, no top. You're just going with it, in every direction, whatever. I just wanted to answer that for you real quick. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and go over everything that we're looking at today. Why we're looking at these particular stocks, why we may be interested in it, and why we may trade it. Everything that I am about to go over, please be mindful. I do have a watch list that is available for you guys if you are interested in having this information in a timely manner. I do send that out every morning, way before I actually come on. You have all the information in detail to allow you to be prepared for either pre-market or when the market opens. So feel free to check that out in my bio. You'll see a section that says watch list there. What are we looking at today? Today, the market, we're probably gonna open up in the red today, right? Right now, the market we're at 360 red. For the Dow, S&P is 55 red, and the Nasdaq is 254 red. So we're probably gonna open up in the red. It'll probably give us a bit of a rocky day. Let's see what exactly is gonna happen. We had a few stocks. It was a little pop here and there this morning. Nothing too crazy. If you guys was on the watch list, you already know I played AIAF this morning. AIF was one that I played this morning. Just off of the news that I had real quick. It's trying to hold its ground here, but we're gonna go ahead and go over it and do a little breakdown of what we're looking at and so on and so forth. Being that we have LNIA up here, LNIA, I'll start with LNIA first. LNIA just came out with news that they got a 20 million. They're going to acquire another company's assets, technology assets for $20 million. What that's going to allow them to do is basically have an advantage in treating the specific disease of Alzheimer's. They're trying to treat Alzheimer's or try to improve their treatment for Alzheimer's essentially. So that is the deal with LNAI. They are basically going to acquire technology assets from another company that is going to allow them to have an advantage in Alzheimer's treatment. So that is why they got a nice pop. That is why they are moving. They are under a dollar, right? Stock is under a dollar right now. It's definitely trying to hold the dollar mark here. You see they have a nice little increase here. Their 52-week high is $7. Doesn't mean that it's going to go to $7. This thing just ran about 40 cents, 50 cents right now. So let's see what it's gonna do in the market open. But decent, very good news on this one here. Definitely take a look at what it's gonna do in the market actually open. If it's gonna be able to keep the attention, which is what we've been struggling with in the past week and a half. The news comes out, but is the stock able to keep the attention? Are we able to keep the volume within that stock there? So that is why that one has a pop. That is why that one is moving. That is why that one is moving this morning. KOD. I like KOD. KOD has very good news. Also, KOD reported that they had strong results for their late stage phase 3 studies for diabetic eye disease. Everybody knows about diabetes or really bad diabetes. Sometimes you can allow you to go blind. You can lose your feet, toes, and all, arms, lymph node, all types of stuff, right? They're saying that the treatment is working much better than other treatments that they had before, and I believe it shows about a 62% of their patients showing improvement with that particular treatment. So that is a deal with KOD. That is why it has a nice pop. It had a very good pop this morning with KOD, and it is holding itself together fairly well. The only thing is KOD is $35, right? A lot of people may not be interested in it at that price point, but it does have very good news, and it is holding itself together very well. I'm only going to change the top screen here to make our lives easier. This one right here, I'm not bringing this to you guys' attention to play or anything like that. This is actually a stock that we played. If you guys been rocking with me for long enough, you know this was a stock that we played as I'm not going to say as a joke, but it was just, just something fun to kind of get into. When we got into this stock, it was like 2 cents or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. It had a very big reverse stock split. That is why it's at this price point. Doesn't mean that we got in at 2 cents and you're sitting at $3 here. Had a very big reverse stock split. So every time HCTI comes up, I always talk about HCTI. A lot of people still hold HCTI just because you got in and it dirt cheap. I don't think I'm looking at ACTI for a day trade or anything like that. But they did come out with news this morning that they're launching a new AI tool that's going to handle like customer interaction in the healthcare system. Basically, it's supposed to be human like interaction, providing human like conversation. Supposed to be they're supposed to be able to make calls. They're supposed to be answer questions and things of that sort. That is what their new AI tool or technology that they're going to develop is supposed to do for them with HCTI. But I don't think it's gonna do anything crazy today. I just talk about HCTI because if you've been here long enough, then we dibble and dabbled in HCTI before. PGN came out with financials this morning. PGN reported their 2025 results. That is why they got a pop. That is why they were moving this morning. They're simply moving off of financials. From pre-market to now, they are holding themselves together currently right now. But nothing too crazy happening with that one there. BATL, you guys remember BATL? We played BATL before about maybe 3 weeks ago. BATL was in its high 20s, high $20. That's when the whole potential war thing started with Iran. And all the stocks, all the oil and energy stocks were moving and giving us a nice little pop. Right now, BATL got a little pop today. Nothing, no new news or anything like that. BATL did report earnings, I believe, 2 or 3 days ago, but they do not have any new news or anything like that. It just has a little pop today. In addition to BATL, I am looking at TPET, TURB, all the old stocks that we looked at that were in the energy sector, the oil and energy sector, to kind of see if they're going to have a little pop or able to bring anything in, being that we're still going to open up in a red. More than likely, we're going to open up in a red today, with nothing with like crazy attention or crazy volume towards it. Where is my friend AIAF? Sorry, I didn't mean to change that. AIF. AIF. I played AIF this morning. If you were on the watch list and you seen that I played AIF. AIF basically. I played AIF because they got a private placement contract with the U.S. Department of Defense with AIF. So they're supposed to be aiding with and they're not like going into like war equipment or anything like that. They're going to be aiding with mental health or veterans with mental health, U.S. Military members with PTSD, brain injuries, and things of that sort. But because they announced that they had a partnership with the U.S. government agency and the U.S. to aid with the U.S. military members with mental health, PTSD, things of that sort, and conditions around those, basically. That is why I played AIF this morning. That is why AIF has a nice little pop, and it's trying to hold this bottom line of this 195 this morning. But AIF is doing its thing. Let's see what it's going to do. I played AIF around here. Let's see what it's going to do when the market actually opens to see if it's going to hold its ground. Right now, it's lacking volume, but it's just holding. It's holding its little 195-ish line for itself here. I'd say AIF is probably moving like 10 cents increments here. Good morning, Kay. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, so far that is what we are looking at so far for today. Let me know if you guys are looking at anything else different. What's trying to tell? Good morning, guys. Let me tell you guys what's on my topic. 1 second here. Willie, good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome in. All right, what do I have on my top? AIF. I played AIF already this morning. Definitely trying to see what it's gonna do when the market open. I know it's currently lacking some volume now. But would like to see what it's gonna do when the market actually opens. I like LNAI. LNAI is right under a dollar, very low price stock right now. It's trying to hold the dollar mark. I think it may have a little support around 80 cents. I'm still gonna give it some time to see when the market open and see how it evaluates itself out around there with LNAI. KOD has very good news, another very good stock that you can take a look at. And then I am looking at BATL, TPT, TRB, all those in that area, to see if they're gonna do anything, kind of get a little pop once the market actually opens. So that is what I have so far on my list. AIF, KOD, BATL, LNAI, BATL comes with all those other TPT, TRB, STAK, all those ones in that group there too. Rain down. So market opens up in another 11 minutes or so. Rain down. Rain down. Crazy dog lady, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Happy Johnny, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. All right, guys, we got about 9 minutes or so before the market actually opens. So let's see what we're gonna actually be rocking and rolling with. I'm hoping that we're all able to have a good green day. I am able to start off my day so far in green. Would like to definitely remain in a green. and capitalize on that and get a little bit more grain. But just again, be prepared for the market. The market lately hasn't been, a regular market. We're going to open up in the red. We're still holding by 300, 330 in the red right now in the Dow. So we are more than likely going to open up in the red. So just be mindful, evaluate your stocks, evaluate what you're looking at, why you're looking at these particular stocks, why are you actually interested in this stock? Don't just get in a stock because I think it's good or somebody else told you it was good. Make sure you know why you are getting into the stock after you evaluate it. Have your entries, have your exits, have all your price points set up on what you're looking at for the stock, and then wait for the stock to do what you plan for it to do. But definitely hoping for a green day for everybody. We got another 8 minutes or so before the market open. I am going to step away to grab something real quick. Feel free to hang out, chit chat, do all those things with each other. Nobody in here bites. But again, the list that I have for me for so far is AIFF, KODBATL with the TRUBs, the TPET, STAKs, all those stocks along the lines with it. In addition to LNAI. So let's see what exactly is going to happen when the market open. Just give me a few minutes. I'm going to step away to grab something real quick, and I'll be right back. I feel like I should play like a commercial or something here, right? Lonnie? We'll say Lonnie. The red and green numbers that you see on the side are basically telling the exact price point that the stock is at. So it's either green or red. It doesn't indicate anything specifically. It just tells you if the stock is green right now or red in that particular minute or so. And the actual price that it's currently at. In that sidebar is just a price margin. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Good morning, Rhetoric. Good morning, Pink. Welcome in. Happy Thursday, guys. Market's about to open. We got another minute and a half left before market actually opens. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Lonnie, you're welcome. BZIA. I didn't take a look at BZIA at all, but I'll take a look at BZIA. With OLP, excuse me, I'm gonna try to explain it real quick. With OLPS, it's probably not gonna do much for today. Why is OLPS probably not gonna do much for today? Because they're saying that they're saying that they're gonna be bought for $1.4 billion or so, right? But the investors are being paid out at about a $2 price point. I think it's like 204, 202, somewhere around that price. So that's why with OLPX, my apologies, OLPX is probably not going to do much once the market actually opens. It's probably just going to hang around that $2 line. You'll see it's probably going to flatline basically right around here because that's the price point that they're going to be that they're going to be paying out the shares for that buyout essentially. So I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that for today. But market is open. Market is open, guys. Happy Thursday. Let's go green. These trying to hold themselves together. AIF still trying to figure itself out. AIF is what I played earlier today. I like AIF because they said that the private partnership with the U.S. government. Basically, they're going to aid with like military veterans and people with PTSD and any kind of mental health disorders or issues. Ooh. Yeah, AIF be waking back up, huh? AIF trying to break. Mhm. Sorry about that, guys. AIF now right above its high and exposed 215 area. 225 is going to be natural resistance. Just because it's it's 25 to 25, 50 cents, 75 cents, dollar mark, whatever, so on and so forth. Just regular resistance line. AIF holding itself together. KOD. I'm a little pullback here to about 35. LANI is down to the 80 cents mark. Let's see if LANI is going to give us a little bounce here. I don't have a position in. I'm not in on anything. I did play AIF already this morning in pre-market, but I told you guys that already. AIF is looking decent for right now. Let's see if it's gonna what it's gonna do. Maybe I'll tap into AIF again. LNAI just cracked 80 cents a little bit here. But it should allegedly, find itself allegedly start to do a little change here. I heard me say allegedly, right? Ooh, AIAF. I'm proud of you, AIF. I'm not, I'm not in at these highs. I ain't get out at these highs, but I'm proud of you, AIF. Let's go. Say that I love you more than LNAI. Man, why y'all ain't do that when I was in there? Hey, have anybody in? Let's go. Why I didn't do that when I was in there? Until I just want to see. Hey, give it to them. All right, friend. Just want to just want that. Lord, I love you. Are we coming up right under the 50 cents area, the 250? So it's probably going to get a little rejection right around here, consolidate a little bit, give us a little pullback. I love this. Kenneth, thank you so much for the rose. I greatly appreciate it. Rhetoric, I don't know if I said thank you for the daily heart me, but thank you. I appreciate it. Let me know if you guys are in on anything. I'm pretty sure you guys know I favor AIF right now. If AIF plays nice and give it a little pullback, I'll tap into AIF already. I'm sorry, I'll tap into AIF again. KOD's holding 35, 34.50 here. LNAI pull back to about 70 cents here. Let's go. If you're up, make sure you're locking in. Take something, guys. Take something if you're up. Market's still in the red, guys. We're still 300 red in the Dow, at least right now. So just again, be very mindful of the conditions that we're in. We're coming down to a 225 area on AIF here. It's trying to hold this 225, 230s area. I think it probably has a decent bounce right under 215, allegedly. BATL gave us a pullback. TPET gave us a pullback. TRB gave us a pullback. KOD is trying to figure out if you want to hold 35 cents or not. LNAI gave us is down to 63 cents right now. Right now, yeah, AIF, y'all. AIF been here with you guys since the beginning, since this morning. It was faithful. Yeah. Yeah, that one had a pop this morning. It was on the list this morning. I didn't talk about it in here, but it had no news or anything attached to it. But I do have that one on the list right here. This one, and then this one also had a pop this morning too. FCHL. But they both didn't have any news or anything attached to them. But I don't. Yeah, I know I didn't talk about them during pre-market. But if you're okay, you guys are comfortable playing the stock with. That's just not my thing, for me. But it just doesn't have any news or anything. But it has a decent chart setup. It had a pop during pre-market, and they're trying to hold themselves together. During regular market right now. Don't look too bad. Don't look too shabby. KOD just got a pop. Beyond Meat is back. Let me take a look at Beyond Meat. And Beyond Meat is not doing anything. It doesn't have much volume or anything attached to it right now. It doesn't. I don't see any news or anything that I'm able to locate. But I really didn't do any digging or just glancing. So this is just a real glance and overview of it. But right now, no volume, no nothing to push it. It's just sprinkling essentially. Nothing that I would look at for a specific day trade for me. In that turn, I would. AIAF definitely has a whole lot more action towards it. And then even if you're comfortable, you can look at KOD, you can look at EEIQ, FC, FCHL. Those two do not have any news or anything attached to them, but KOD does have news attached to it. It is holding itself together. We have other stuff that are moving with a whole lot more volume right now that you can look at other than Beyond. But Beyond Me has been good to us before. We played that one several times. BATL trying to find its way back up here on the 675 area. For me, I'm looking to see if AIF gives us a little crack here, then I'll play AIF again. I'm being mindful of the market conditions. I played this morning. I came out green. So let's see. If it gives me another play, then I'll play. If anything, you can hear. Continue being a commentator for you guys. Um, what's decent volume compared to whatever it may have had before? If you look at what is this thing? Hold on, I have to put it on your computer. Just give you a quick glance. Um, like this right here, I wouldn't be interested in this. for me personally. I wouldn't be interested in this because it just doesn't look the chart. The chart doesn't look like anything. There's nothing going on. What am I reading? Charting is big for me, right? So if there's no bars, there's no nothing on the chart, there's no nothing there. What did I have at the bottom? Um, like there's nothing for me to evaluate. I can't even evaluate the chart. Like I tell you guys all the time, I evaluate and make a chart, no lines or nothing on there. Let me see what the stock is doing. So if there's no actual chart to evaluate, then probably it's a good indicator that it's value, even if you don't compare it to anything. Oh. Being a good- What are you looking at? EP? No, Ocean. My bad. I've been unresponsive. Yeah, I got options today. You know, some of them are decent. Some of them got decent news. AIF has news. KOD has news. VATL is one of our little old friends. Is still holding itself together around the 650 area. Two no newsers holding themselves together. EEIQ and FCHL. But you got a little options today to see what you're gonna do. Just make sure you're mindful of what you're kind of getting in, getting out. Go in, get what you need to get, and get out, guys. Do not linger, okay? Just because you got options don't mean it's your time to lounge around, like act like you're by the beach. Get in, get what you need to get out. I kind of got what I needed to get, so now I'm chilling by the beach. But if it comes back and rock with your girl, then yeah. But go in, get what you need to get, and get out. Pink, did you get out of AIF? Are you still in AIF? KOD holding itself very well here. KOD is the one that said that they had the strong results for their phase 3 study for the patients that showed improvement with the diabetic eye disease and so on and so forth. That's why I also sent you an email when you get a chance. 947. Doing okay. Did anybody get in on anything else? You guys are looking at anything else? I know a few of you guys are looking at EI, well, not a few because I think one person said they were looking at EEIQ. We're gonna have one person in AIAF. I don't know anybody looking at KOD. KOD is a very good stock. It's just higher in price. You do have other options that are lower that you can kind of play, but it's very as solid news. So they have so very well together. Alright. What's KOD's 52-week high? KOD is this is its high. These are new highs for it. Somebody actually, I think it was you, Pink. See with what I was talking about with OLPX. OLPX, because the price that is being paid out is around $2, 205 or something like that, somewhere around the $2 mark. That's why you see it's just bouncing between this. So more than likely, you're just gonna see the stock flatline across this generally all day, until it adjusts from there. But that's why I won't do much for didn't I wouldn't expect it to do much for today because that's the price point that the shareholders are being paid out at. Out of the $1.4 million, I believe they're selling for. AIF came down, gave us a little bounce off the 225 line here. These are old lines from AIF. I don't remember. I think we played them back in early in March or late February. Those are old lines at the top. Don't worry about that because we ain't get there yet. But it is playing fairly decent between these lines here. Looking around, making sure we're not missing anything. So did you get in EEIQ? If you're still here. IAF trying to do another little run here. Excuse me, guys. Intentional. He's intentional. He's intentional. He's intentional. Can't find a winning formula, meaning you can't find a winning strategy, or you can't find a setup for today. They all on good is intentional. Oh, I'd highly encourage you to go in. I don't know if you like live trading or anything like that, but go into paper trading. Test out your strategy, test out what you see. Um, like go back to square one and then build up again. Evaluating what you understand, what you don't understand. And sometimes you have to adjust your strategy to the market, right? You have to adjust your strategy to kind of what you're giving. You guys heard me say in the past week and a half, I'm trying to catch my play early. Why? Because I noticed that the market it'll give you a little pop as soon as it opens, and then we kind of lost volume after 10:30ish or whatever, right? And I'm usually done by 11. So for me, it's like let me adjust a little bit and try to get in before. Where before I was getting in 10:15, 10:40s was when I was patiently waiting for my play. So you have to kind of pay attention to what the market is giving you. Sometimes you have to adjust your strategy and your place. It's working for me. It's working for me. Hey, thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate it. KLD pulling back to $35. It was just around 38.50ish, maybe 10 minutes ago. It's pulling back to $35. It would have been a great buy, so it seems like you didn't get it. So now go back and evaluate the play in reverse. Why didn't you get in at $5? Or why would you have gotten that $5? It's easy to look at a stock in reverse, right? And be like, oh man, if I got in at $1, it would have been great. If we go back and look at UGRO, right? We were all looking at UGRO either earlier this week or late last week. UGRO was like $2-3. UGRO was in the high 30s yesterday. So it could have been like, yeah, oh man, I could have gotten at $2. I could have held it until these high 30s. But if you're having that thought process, go back and play the play in reverse. Like okay, it would have been great, but why did I get in or why didn't I get in? Um, and you would evaluate your play, or at least a mental play in reverse to see what you could have done or didn't do wrong. Oh, you didn't see the stock at all. Okay. Yeah, I saw EEQ. I looked at EEQ since this morning from our watch list, but I just didn't have any interest in it because it doesn't have any news. That's a big thing for me. But yeah, EEQ I didn't have any interest in it for that reason. So I played AIAF instead. Come on, AIF. If AIF could get the 245 area, 245 is going to be a little wall for it, but right after that, it would be a 250. Natural resistance is going to be the natural wall for the 250s area. Um, but that 245 area is kind of fighting AIF here. I'm watching it to see if it's going to break the 245 area. I'm not currently in it. I played it already. I told you guys. If it don't come back and give a little pullback, I don't think I'll try to do anything at all. Right now, I'm okay with closing out grain for today. You're trying to get it. You're getting an AIF. Yeah, AIF is a decent place. Just in high exposed area right now. Trying to break its high 245 wall. I put you on the UGR when you make profit. Yeah, I didn't even play UGRO, but I'm happy you were able to make profit on UGRO. Yeah, I didn't even play UGRO. But good job going green. Dancing. It is. Let me move down. Yeah, it is. It just doesn't have any news, but it's done very well during pre-market. It held itself together, market open, and honestly, I didn't even talk about it during pre-market. I didn't go back to look at it at all after I saw it was doing good. It just didn't have anything attached to it. Personally, I didn't go back to look at it at all until I think it was Ocean that brought it was either Ocean or EPT brought it back up in here. But it is doing very well for itself. KOD's back to 34 bucks here. So with AIF, guys, if you're paying attention to AIF, if AIF is moving like 10 cents, right? 10 cents. So right now you see it struggling to get the 235. It's just not able to hold past 235. It keeps bouncing back between 225, 235. Nice little pop here on EET. We're just gonna call it IQ for now because this whole EEIQ is killing me. But nice little pop on IQ down at the bottom. So it's bouncing, it's giving you like 10 cents bounces on AIF, right? 10 cents. So you see it's moving in 10 cents increments. So it's having a hard time breaking the 235. But if we were able to get to 245, 250 is going to be a real wall right behind it on AIF. Just be mindful of that. 250 will be a real wall right behind it. Because 250 is going to be natural resistance. And I say this allegedly. How can I get your ticket? I'm assuming you're asking for the watch list. If you go on my bio, you'll see a section that says watch list there. Just click on that and you'll see all the information for the watch list. You'll be able to sign up for it there. Um, so either go in the link in my bio, you'll see a section that says watch list, or if you just go, yeah, just click on that. That'll be your easiest way. If you can't find it for any reason, just send me a DM. I'll send you a direct link. Here we go. Just broke 235. Big buy. I'm using trading there. There we go. Dang. Yeah, if you didn't even let me, I just literally finished talking about you and explaining this 2 minutes ago. Probably not even 2 minutes ago. Right up under 250, little pullback here. Gloria. So now we're going to battle 245 a little bit, dance around 250. 250 is going to be a little wall for AIF. Again, everything that I'm saying is ownership. So you see AIF came up, gave us a nice little pop, came right up under this 250 line right here and got a little rejection. Natural resistance area for AIF, got a little rejection. Now it's trying to fight this little 240, 245 area to see if it's able to consolidate and move itself back up. Big pullback. Why is the stop loss important? Look what it just did. Big pullback, big dump here. Gloria. Probably give you a look. If I was trying to get in, I told you guys if I was going to try to get in AIF, I was going to be looking around at 250, right under the 215s. But I didn't have any setup. I wasn't trying to get in. I told you guys I wasn't trying to get in on anything. I was good with my place from earlier. Um, but this is a decent area for AI. Allegedly, the 215, right up under the 215 for a little bounce area. But it did just have a very big pullback here. On it just gave back about what 20 cents or so. We dropped from the 240s to about 215, 207s real quick. So if I had like a place set up when it came down and picked me up, I'd have had a panic attack and was, oh my gosh. So, they're doing things on my own. Feelings of guilt turn from what's in my mind out of you. Right now, right now, right now. SCHL gave another little push here. That one, just like EEIQ, does not have any news or anything attached to it, but they're moving. Till I walk till KLD is a good stock. KLD had good news. KLD, they came out the news with their phase three for going off the top of my head. They came out their phase three for I think diabetes or something with diabetes. They showed positive results for their phase three, so that's why they had a solid pop this morning. It's been moving in a nice direction. The charting for it is very healthy. It's been holding itself together, bouncing between 38 and 34-ish, 33-ish bucks market open. It's a decent stock. It's just a higher price, right? We do have other stock that are moving that are a little bit lower in price that you can kind of evaluate if you're looking for a play. That's how I would look at it. You got AIAF, you got EEIQ, you got FCHL, are lower price than KOD. But again, all decent stocks. It's still right up there with them, allegedly. All right, I'm gonna do a little recap for us for today, which you guys can look at, continue to look at. As the day continues, I will be back tomorrow morning. Regular time. You guys know Fridays. I'm not here for too long anyway. Fridays I typically don't trade for me personally, but I'm gonna come on tomorrow. We have regular, morning routine. If you guys need anything, feel free to tap in. Once again, guys, I do have a watch list that I do send out every morning with all the information that I kind of go over way before I actually come on. So if you're interested in that, just go in my bio, see a section that says watch list. In addition to that, I do have an e-course and also a one-to-one mentorship. If you are interested in that, feel free to take a look at my bio. Also find the section that says e-course and mentorship. But let's break down what we looked at today. Why you guys can continue to look at some stocks if you're looking for anything. If you're still looking for a possible play, we're gonna leave AIAF here for last. Let it do its thing here for a little bit. This one right here, KOD. You guys just heard me just talk. I just broke it down a little bit for music. But KOD, we looked at KOD this morning. Every time I say KOD, side note. Every time I say KOD, side note, from Miami. They had like a big club beat down here. I'm sure you guys. So every time I say it, that's all I remember. Which got shut down. But anyway, I talk so fast, I'm gonna slow down. I got you. I know sometimes I talk fast. KOD is well. What did they have? They reported results for their late phase three studies for basically diabetes and eye or diabetic eyes disease. So that was to do with KOD. They did have good news this morning. They reported good news. Their late phase three positive results for diabetes or diabetes in the eye. That is why KOD had a solid pop this morning. That is why it was moving. Great run for it, right? From pre-market. Great run for the stock here. Let me turn this off. There we go. Great run for this stock here during pre-market. It held itself up. This held itself together during pre-market. Market open. Continue to do its thing. Great pop here. It's been bouncing between $33, $38. Back and forth with that one there, but definitely one that you guys can take a look at. Once again, it did have good news. Reported that it had strong result for its phase 3 studies for diabetic eye disease. That is why it had its pop this morning. That is why it was moving from pre-market, held itself up together here, and continued to do its thing as market open. The bounce forward has been between the high 38s and the low 33s. If you are interested in that, you can definitely take a look at that to see what it's going to do as the market continues there. Um, LNAI came out with news this morning. LNAI, they had a $20 million, I want to say, private placement, if I'm not mistaken. With LNAI, had a pop, gave you a great pop here. I thought it would have did a little bit more once the market opened, but it gave you a great pop here. Got right under the dollar mark, natural resistance, and it got rejected, consolidated, not even consolidated. It hung around 93 cents. And then once market opened, it's just been on a complete downtrend here. Nothing that I would really pay attention to see if it's going to do anything. I don't know that it's going to do anything, great is what I'd say. I think you have other plays that you can kind of take a look at and pay attention to catch a possible play for something that you're interested in. But it did very well this morning. It had news this morning. Had a nice pop right up under the dollar mark. Once it got up to a dollar mark right around here, you notice you got a little rejection here, hung around the 93-ish cents area for a while. Market open. Then we came down, straight downtrend here. Nothing happening. I would pay attention to it too much here. Moving right along, EEIQ. EIQ had no news this morning. I looked at EIQ this morning during pre-market. It had a little pop. It had no news, which is a big thing for me. Without any news, I'm often not interested in the stock, but it did have a nice little setup here. Held itself together during pre-market. Continued to do its thing. Market open. Boom. We took off and continued to do its thing here. Honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to the stock here, just because it didn't check one of the big check boxes for me, which is news, making sure that it has something that supports it, makes it credible. But the stock did do very well for itself. It is doing very well for itself. It is trying to hold itself together here. Very nice chart setup. Definitely one that you can take a look at. See if it's going to do anything for you as the day continues. Find your mark. It's a decent stock. It just doesn't have any news, so just be mindful of that. Same thing with FCHL. FCHL, it too had a nice little pop this morning during pre-market. It did give back a lot during pre-market also, but it tried to hold itself together. Once market opened, it did take off just like the other one did also. But just like EEIQ did also, but it didn't have any news, so of course it didn't hold my interest for me personally. It does not mean that it's a stock that you can't play. It does not mean that it's something that you can't look at or anything like that. But it just didn't hold any. It didn't have any news. So for me, it was no credibility, no actual value in that actual play. That is why I didn't play it. Does not mean you can't play. Does not mean you can't look at it. But it does have a decent chart set up, nice looking chart. If you want to take a look at that, see what it's gonna do. AIAF. AIAF was a friend of mine. AIAF, why did I play AIAF this morning? AIAF basically announced that they had a private agreement with the U.S. Department. They're going to be aiding with military veterans and people who are suffering from PTSD and mental illness issues. So they got a private agreement with them. That is why they had a pop. So once they announced that they had the private agreement with the U.S. Department, that is why I was interested in them, wanted to see what exactly it was going to do. I was able to play this one during pre-market. Was able to come out green on this one during pre-market. I told you guys AIF was one of those that I like, that I favored from early this morning. AIF definitely has been holding itself together, playing itself very well. Decent price stock, nothing too high. You just got to be patient, find your mark, get in, get out. This is not the market for you to be lingering around, playing around with anything at all. But AIF is definitely a decent play that you guys can take a look at if you are looking for a trade to kind of get into. Thank you are welcome. I hope you have a good day. Um, did I go over everything? Yeah, I think that's mainly it. Honestly, if I'm looking for something for today, I'd look at AIFF. That's AIAF. AIFF. My apologies, guys. AIFF. Look at EEIQ. Look at what's the other one? FCHL. You can look at those and see what they're gonna do if you're gonna look for something for the rest of the day. But I'll be back tomorrow morning. If you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. Yeah, go out and have a good day. If you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. As always, I encourage you to go out in this big, big world of ours and to lead with grace. Go out, guys. Put out goodness, put out kindness, put out good stuff into this world, and hopefully, good stuff is able to come back and hit you in return. If you need anything, feel free to reach out. I hope to see you guys tomorrow morning, 8:45 ish. We'll be on. You guys have a good day. You're welcome, music.